Greetings everyone, Through here. Welcome to the DemoHub. In today's tutorial, we are going to explore the power of Snowflake Copilot. If you're looking to simplify your data analysis workflow while maintaining a robust governance posture, you are in the right place. In this video, we'll dive into what Snowflake Copilot is, we'll understand how it works with very specific examples, and how you can leverage its AI-powered assistance to enhance your data analysis experience within the Snowflake interface. The links to the documentation, as always, will be left in the description below. Snowflake Copilot can be accessed from within the Snowsite UI to the bottom right of the screen as Copilot. Go ahead and click on that. This gives the assistant by your side as you interact and analyze or explore data within Snowflake. Now, a couple of things from a UI perspective to call out. There is the ability to open up for more real estate, or put it aside if you want to focus on your code. Below, there is the text input for writing prompts. This is purely natural language. There are quick prompts here you can use for that. Before we jump in, a couple of things to call out is some configurations. You can start a new chat. There are custom instructions. This allows you to bring in custom instructions to your experience as you prompt and interact with the Copilot within Snowflake. Next is the documentation. So obviously there is a link to the documentation for quick and easy reference for anyone who wants to take a glance at that. Now, to jump in and actually take advantage of Snowflake Copilot, it needs to work within a particular context. Your database and the schema you work with transfers over to Snowflake Copilot. In this example, we're using the FruitK database. Here we have a public schema and a number of tables. Assume I'm an analyst coming in. I don't want to write SQL. I want Copilot to be my assistant to understand and to analyze the data within this table and schemas. Usually, if you're familiar with the Snowsite environment, it's important to select your database context by selecting your database from the toggle here on the screen. As we do that, notice the context from the Copilot has been updated based on the selection. There are a number of ways to select that context. So Copilot knows what tables or views to look at. It leverages this context. Extremely important when dealing with your session in Copilot. Now, session is an important thing to be aware of. We have seen the example of using FruitK DB. Whatever questions I'm asking with Copilot, this is the context, but the context doesn't carry across a worksheet. Open up a new worksheet called the demo 2. I could have a completely different context here. In this case, I use the Snowflake schema. My questions will be answered with the context and the tables available within the schema. It's important to understand what your worksheets are and what session and context you're using within those worksheets, because that's what Copilot has visibility to. Back to our previous context, FruitK DB. A couple of things we can do prompting Copilot. This ranges from just basic data exploration all the way to generating highly complex, intricate SQL statements to supercharge your experience on the Snowflake platform. Start with basic data exploration to understand what data we have, what type of questions can I ask about this data set. That's all we have. For Copilot, it uses, again, the context of the FruitK public schema to understand what tables we have and use that to answer the question. So let's go ahead and run that. Analyzing the prompt. Based on that, is generate a robust result, almost like a data catalog telling us the tables that are available, the columns within those tables, and other very pertinent information that it would take weeks, months, or even years to catalog this all by yourself. Our Copilot is able to infer all of that, understand the semantic meaning of it, and gives us a very powerful result. So from an exploration perspective, this is amazing. As Copilot generates, a couple of things you can do. Obviously, if you like the result, you can go ahead and like that response. This goes back to the Snowflake engine. It learns from that and it makes our Copilot experience better. If the results aren't good, you're going to want to go ahead and dislike that. Next, we did talk about sessions, switching worksheets. That session doesn't carry across. This session is limited to this worksheet. Now, if I go back to the previous worksheet, my session is maintained within the worksheet. The last thing we talked about is the custom instructions. Obviously, you can add some custom instructions. It will be good for you to leverage this, maybe prefixing your results with a specific term, or having it exclude or include specific predicates within the queries it returns. You can put all of that within your custom instructions. Next, we want to zero in on a specific table. I can see we have a customer table with about 100,000 records. Here, there is a syntax of using the @ symbol. And with that, it gives you options to select different first-class objects within Snowflake. So in this case, it's showing us tables and views within this context for you to use, and even all the way to specific columns. We're doing some basic data exploration. This is something that you might be running to your data catalog to figure out all of this information. More likely than not, the data catalog is not even up to date because it's tedious and manual to keep that up to date. Here, we're getting a semantic understanding with the context of LLM at the fingertip of what is in this table. You can see it's very performant at giving us the results. Customer ID, customer name, address. This shows us all the attributes with some descriptions that are available in this table. You can confirm that by taking a look at the table itself. See customer ID, name, complaints, address, phone number. All of that is in there with some descriptions provided as well. Continuing in the spirit of exploration, ask questions to the effect of, what type of events can I filter by? Again, I have no idea what is in this table. I'm trying to explore, to understand, to zero in on the value of the data products we have. Here, Copilot is responding and giving us some good information. It's telling us for sales orders, we have a sales order table, filter by order date, order ID, order priority, and the rest. It goes through all the tables telling us what we can filter by. We can also even inquire, because sometimes you want to filter, sometimes you might want to join. Are there any tables we can join by across my entire schema? Now, it's a little bit trivial when we have 4 tables to use for illustration purposes, but imagine a very complex database with not just 100, but thousands of tables. Doing this exploration, this is where you get that X factor, that highly differentiated alpha with Copilot by your side. It tells us customer table can be joined with sales order table using customer ID. There is a common key. Now, exploration is good, but we want to jump in and actually generate SQL. Let's see how Copilot can respond to answering the question and giving us the SQL we need to run across our data platform. Go ahead and prompt it. What are all the customers with names that start with F? The language might not be very clear, and that's the challenge for Copilot to zero in and still be able to answer that for us. Retrieving metadata, analyzing prompt, it also validates and tells us this is a valid query. I can either run the query directly here and get the result, or add that query to my screen and run that. I do admit this is a trivial example to show, nothing to write home about, but just to give you the idea that Copilot is right there at your fingertips, even for the basic stuff. Sometimes the redundant, the basic things we write all day long might just be what you offload to Copilot and then focus on the high value tasks and problems you're trying to solve for your business. But Copilot is right at your fingertips. Now, we can go into some more interesting questions. Something very common, looking at customers, how much they've ordered for the last 90 days. We're introducing a predicate, we're introducing some date variables. These are the types of queries you get to write and run on a daily basis with some aggregation included. Copilot gives us that result in a stellar fashion. One thing to call out is the retention that is available within Copilot. We're not just coming in every time with a brand new prompt. You can actually have Copilot remember the context of what it answered and then build on that. In this case, say, good, please include amount too. Hopefully it includes that amount, even though I suspect that it will not be executable, but we now have some other amount showing up in here. Super powerful for generating SQL, everything from basic SQL to more complex SQL. Copilot is right there at your fingertips. Now, for a user, it's powerful to use Copilot for the experiences we've seen. Basic exploration, generating SQL. But what about learning? What about coming to Snowflake for the first time? You want to explore, build up your skills, learn what's available. Copilot can also help with that. You can use Copilot to know what to learn. Take this to something more specific. What is Snowpark Cortex? Obviously, you can go ahead and read the documentation to know what Snowpark Cortex is. But what if within the experience in Snowside, you can get those answers using natural language without a third-party tool. Think about the Snowflake documentation being right there without you having to click extra links. That is powerful to have. Click on that. It tells us what Cortex is, as well as a link to the documentation. Imagine one of your really tough, inefficient, not pretty looking query, and you want a way for that query to be optimized. Can you ask Copilot to at least give you an assistance with? Obviously, you're going to have to, play with it and make sure that the response you're getting is in line. Prompt like, Copilot, can you help me improve this query? Recommending optimizations and other suggestions to fix issues where possible. It takes a few seconds. It's going to analyze that. It's giving us a response. It says it's valid. You have the opportunity to give Copilot that challenge for optimizing your Snowflake queries using Snowflake best practices. I think that's something that you can definitely put Copilot to the test. Now, we've seen a lot. For the next piece, we're just going to go through examples of how to prompt Copilot for different types of situations, something we might do every single day. For a basic data exploration type situation, the question, what are the top 5 selling device models? All we do is ask the question, run that query. In less than a few clicks, we have our top performing device models provided to us. We can ask to the effect of, are there any correlations between, and correlations is the key term here, looking across different attributes, quantity ordered and the number of complaints per order. It's able to understand all of that, generate the SQL for us, tell us if there are any correlation, give us a good explanation for why it's generating the SQL it is. It's a valid query. Go ahead, run that. With some luck, we see what people are ordering. What about spotting trends or seasonality within your data? Are there any seasonal patterns in the volume of complaints by date? Voila, the result has been returned. They give us some result with the month, the count of complaints. We can intuit if there are any seasonality by month where complaints go up. Maybe in December, people complain more, or in the winter periods, there are more complaints compared to summer periods. This can uncover some valuable insights for the business. Now, going beyond spotting trends, let's look at focusing on issues we can resolve. Which lot numbers based on the devices that are manufactured have the highest complaint rate or complaint rates greater than 2%? We're looking at lot number for the devices that are manufactured, the customer table where there are complaints. We have no idea what columns are useful for this type of analysis. But again, we give it to trusted Copilot for it to intuit, to understand, and to give us the result just like that. We have the response ready to go. Last but not least, before we leave, we're going to throw a curveball here at Copilot. For those that are trying out Copilot, I think most people would obviously be pushing it to its limit. Let's ask about Copilot. Can you build a model to predict if customers are likely to place another order based on their order history and complaint data? It's a little bit more complicated. You might be talking about using Snowpark or using some ML capabilities. Let's see what Copilot returns. If we are not happy with the results, then I'll highly encourage you to keep watching in future videos. We will do a demonstration on how to take advantage of the ML-powered functions within Snowflake Cortex to solve this problem, to do forecasting and some predictive analysis. That said, this brings us to the end of this particular demo, this particular lecture on Snowflake Copilot. It's a tutorial, very hands-on, powerful, super exciting capabilities. This is a monumental shift in terms of the experience with data. Hopefully you find value out of this. We've covered the basics of Snowflake Copilot, from its features, its capabilities, how you can start using it with your data analysis project. As always, this has been Fro here with DemoHub. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. I will see you in the next demo.